Okay, let me just analyze very quickly this position, then we will play for sure. I think you see the board and also okay, very quickly let's analyze this position. White's knight was on c3. uh, Maybe let me edit setup one more time. On d5 there was black's pawn. You see the board, okay. And white took on d5, knight d5. And here is the question. My subscriber asked about these three continuations. He told that Stockfish told that bishop e2 was the best continuation for black. He asked about queen c5 and or queen e4, which one is better. Let's start from these two continuations, queen c5 or queen e4. Each of them will lose for black for sure, because white will take on g4, they will check after f5, maybe they will go back bishop f3 to attack and to protect white's knight on d5. And we can calculate, we can see that white has the rook, one extra rook, bishop and two bishops. Two bishops, yes, the pawns are equal. Rook and two bishops against black's queen. Of course, white position is winning. Even its queen, but the rook and two bishops, of course, are much more stronger. After knight d5, he told that Stockfish showed this variation, bishop e2. Stockfish told that bishop e2 is better. But again, it will not help black, because bishop e2, to tell the truth, I analyzed this position with one of my students, and we have found many interesting variations. After bishop e2, of course, white needs to take on b4, and here, if black takes, bishop f1 takes, and white will have an extra piece, right? King f1 or knight f1. Or if they go back with the bishop, again, knight d4 from pawn's attack, and again, white will have an extra piece. So that's why on knight b4, if black takes not the rook but the knight on b4. Here, at first, if I remember right, we have analyzed at first this move, rook e1, knight c2, we took on e2 with the rook, knight a1, and we have played b4. Then we want to play bishop e2 to trap the knight. There is no free square for the knight, because white's pieces are controlling that squares. After b4, knight f6, bishop b2, and rook d8. We have found this continuation, but rook d8, yes, they want us to take on a1, bishop a1, then to check, and then to take the bishop and to have an extra pawn. But instead of bishop a1, there is no rush to take on a1. White can continue knight f3. And after this check to close, and after this trade to start to control this square, and just then to take on a1 and to have an extra piece. It was a very interesting variation for us. And the other one, knight c2, yes, rook e2 is the same, knight a1 before and bishop b2. Other variation, after rook e1, we have analyzed this move in order to, let me remember that analyze. Black wants to take to fork, and if white tries to go from e1, then they take on c2, rook b1, and bishop a2 to trap the rook. And again, black's position is, it's not winning, but they will not lose for sure in this position. So here, after bishop c4, we have found this move, b3, if I'm not mistaken, b3, to attack this bishop. After taking, bishop b2, yes, bishop b2, and we want to take on g7 and to trap the black's rook. We want to take the black's bishop. So if they play knight f6, yes, just to take on c4. If they take on e1, we will take, and again we will have an extra bishop, a bishop against the pawn. Black has 6 pawns. So again, white position again is winning. And one more continuation. Instead of rook e1, if I remember right, Bishop d2 is also very interesting move. Bishop d2, if they take, of course, bishop b4. Yes, this variation. Bishop b4. If they go somewhere, for example, on to b5 to a6, to escape from king's attack, just to play bishop f8. Now we want to take on g7 to trap the rook. They need to play h5 to open a square for their rook, but after this taking, white will have an extra pawn, and of course white's position is winning. So after all these variations, of course, for black, knight d5, if we compare queen c5, queen sorry, not e4, not f4, queen c5, queen e4, or bishop e2, of course bishop e2 is much more better for black, but again it will not help them. After all these variations, white's position is winning. So I hope I explained clearly. I don't know, maybe maybe he will have some questions. I will ask, then I will write to him. I don't know if he's watching me right now, but okay. I will upload this video for him too, and I hope it was useful for you too.